afternoon, good evening, good morning to you folks. It's email always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, can you believe it? January is just about over. It seems like we just started this year. I mean, time is flying, and it's just I don't know. The older you get, seems like time goes by. So anyway, folks, as you know, as a content maker, I reach out to ladies who have a story that particularly interests me and also interests you guys out there. We have here a lovely lady here, and she just got her pro card last year, a month ago at the Nationals. Also, I interviewed her sister a while back. She competed in figure, both of them, both earned their pro card and won in their class. So we have here the lovely Mrs. Shannon Burge. If I got her name right, let me know.
You got it right. Perfect.
All right. Thank you. I always try to practice and make sure I get it right. And we're going to ask her what's her plans for the future, what got herself in bodybuilding, and share her story. So, as you guys out there, we're going to ask the question I always ask you, ladies: what got a lovely lady like yourself in the sport? As I call it, muscle and masculinity. Please share.
Well, it's funny. People have asked me that question a lot lately, and the irony is, actually, one of my employees got me into bodybuilding. So I've always been an athlete. I ran track in college. And I've always stayed, health and wellness is super important. So I've always stayed, I would say, in shape. Competing is a different level of being in shape. But no, I am a director for a technology company. And one of my employees, when I was this is years ago, but he said he was going to a trainer and he's like, yeah, boss, I thought you said you wanted to compete one day. And I was like, yeah, I kind of put it on the back burner. And he's like, yeah, you should really meet his wife. She competes. And I went and met with his trainer, like nonchalantly, like this is like 8 years ago. And I remember him saying like, this sport would be awesome for you. You ran track. And I remember saying like, cause this is when I lived in Denver, I said, yeah, I'm going to let's do this show. And it was supposed to be in August. We started training. And then a month in, he's like, yeah, let's do this show in April. So literally, next thing I know, 4 months later, I was competing, and I guess the rest is history. I've, throughout the years, taken quite a bit of time off and just leaned into pursuing my career, doing my fitness business stuff, working on my nonprofit. And this past year, my youngest sister, Tamika Tucker, so as you mentioned, phenomenal that we got to get our pro cards together. She's 8 years younger than I am, but this year, last year, she said, let's push through. Let's do the Chicago show, which was on my birthday. And so in July, we actually did the Chicago show where I was blessed enough to won the overall. And then I was kind of like, I'm about to take some time off and lean into corporate and do some traveling. I do a lot of traveling. And she's like, we should push through. And then we did USA's. Got top 5, and the feedback was really good from the judges, just like, hey, bring your legs in a little bit more, and leads us to, ended up going to nationals, right? And it paid off. All the hard work paid off, and just pushing through. But yeah, it's been years ago. I literally have went through bouts of not competing. What did I say? I did junior nationals, 7 years ago, and then took 5 years off and was just, doing all the other things, because my sister and I are both very, very busy people and do a lot of different things. And so, I was thankful to get back into it, and definitely commend my sister for pushing me to get back into, competing this year, and it paying off for both of us.
That's pretty good, and she's a baby sister, right? She's a baby of the family.
Yes. People think we're twins. We laugh all the time. I'm like, and then she goes, she's old, I'm young. So no, it is cool to get to do a sport with your sibling. And then we have a brother too. And he's like, laugh all the time, say he's Terminator, but he is looking to get back into competing next year. So his name is Burge. And so you guys will probably see him. But yeah, it's like turned into a family thing. And just blessed. We have a great family that everyone really pushes each other. And definitely entrepreneurial and athletic background, I'd say, in terms of our family.
That's pretty good, and your family had a passion in business and in sport. I know Tamika said she was did track and field. Also, she was a cheerleader at one point.
Me too.
You should be too. Who cheerleader for?
I cheered. So Tamika got to cheer for the Green Bay Packers. I cheered through high school and some of college. So I went to Lourdes College. But no, I didn't cheer when I got past college. But yeah, we love track. It's been something I think our mom ran track too. So, we and our middle sister Jacqueline, she owns multiple salons, though she's super successful in entrepreneurship and is the salon owner in Iowa. So she did shot put. So everybody's done track in some capacity.
Yeah, I know. I played football when I was young. My older brother, he played football. He's 6 years older than I was. I'm like, yeah, it was like like basically like my family, my mother and father were together for 55 years, even though my father lived in Jersey, we lived down here in North Carolina. And
wow.
The other guy likes to say, my father was a drunk and a fiend. My mother never liked it, like one bit. But he was my dad, and we passed away. We said it before as men. Yeah, it's good to have that bond with family and closest. We got some people coming in. We got a man here, Michael Boyce. He says, love Shannon. You got a fan here. Also, he says, just from man, War 2000. Oh, that's the wrong thing. He said this. He says, what's up, Shannon? All right, what's up, Shannon? Also, he likes to ask you a question because these guys are single. So, are you married and do you have kids? You heard that old was that song from Miss Chalet when the guy it was Dr. Dre said, "Excuse me, is your husband married?" So
no, I'm not married and I do not have any children. So no, I'm still they make jokes, but I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm the rich auntie. I receive that. I receive being rich in multiple capacities, but no, I have so many close friends. I'm always traveling. Like next week, I'm in Denver for following up on my nonprofit. It's like grant writing season, so meeting with a few of my grant writers and seeing a lot of my friends. I lived in Denver for 10 years, actually. Lots of friends and family there, but no children. I'm not married. I go visit a lot of my best friends, children's and family, and then I do have nieces and nephews, so visit them often.
I say with that, I'm not the I kind of call myself the I'm not the rich uncle of the family. I'm like Bruce Wayne without the Batman and the billions. I don't have no kids, but I do have I got nephews and great nephews and nieces, because like I said, I'm like one of the on the line. But yeah, families are very important. I mean, especially, I grew up with my mother. She raised us. There was like 6 of us, and plus she raised 6 of us plus two or three grandkids. We got here. You guys are coming here, Shannon. I'm telling you. We got here. This is from my man Mike Boyce says you resemble Carla Dunlap. And that was the first Black Miss Olympia. That's the history. Also, Roy picking on me saying, he says, never get old with the Joker gimmick. It's more, he completes me. He's a particular type of criminal. I just love something like that, anarchy and chaos. I'm just a dog chasing cars. I'm so sorry. It comes in every night.
No, I love it. Gotta have fun.
Yeah, you gotta have fun. This is why. So anyway, so when you started competing, what was that like that first time for you when you competed?
I'm the kind of person, so once I say I'm going to do something, then I just do it. And I really don't take a lot of time to which this is good and bad. Cause I always say I'm 0 or 1,000, like there is no in between. So once I commit to it, then it's like full throttle. So I remember the first show I did was the Colorado Northern, and that is a fairly big show. And keep in mind, not knowing really what I was getting into. And I just remember going out there and thinking in my head, like, have fun and like you've worked hard and, it's going to be a great time. And so the first show I ever did, and at that time of my friend group, I was the first one who had like dibbled and dabbled into bodybuilding. A few of them had mentioned they wanted to do it, but I was probably the first one to say, hey, I'm going to get on stage, right? Because a lot of people say they want to get on stage, and then once you start, it's a different type of level of discipline. And so the first show I did, I won novice. I got 4th in my class. And then I remember I was pumped. I was like, oh my gosh, I can do this. And then I was like, I'm doing, I did a show that November. So did a show in April, then did a show in November, won the show. And I was like, man, I can do this. This is fun. And, and I think I could push through. And then The next year did junior nationals. And I remember at the time, the coach I had was like, I don't know if this is really a good idea. He's like, maybe you should wait. And I was like, no, I'm doing it. Like literally just was like, I'm doing the show. And I got first call outs. And so I had only did 2 shows. And then that third show went to nationals. I got first call outs. And then after that, that's when I took the like 5 years off because I was like, man, this was a lot. This was a lot. This was hard. But I just remember being pumped and confident. And I tell a lot of, because now I have a number of friends who've ended up getting into bodybuilding, which is super exciting, and watching people push themselves, past their comfort zone. But I remember telling them that competing really forces you to truly believe in yourself and be confident in your own appearance and how you feel about how you look, because lots of people are going to have lots of comments. It could be even your friends, family, people that don't even know you, right? Like, it's funny, like people have lots of comments about, like, I always joke because I say if I was overweight, nobody would care. And it was interesting when I first started competing and, just getting really disciplined. Some people were like, wow, you're like, you always had a really nice shape. Now you're like getting really like muscular. And so that's why I say that the first time competing, I was super proud of myself, and my confidence level, internally probably went to a different level, because you truly have to be comfortable in your own skin and believe in what you're doing, because it's truly you against you.
Yeah, it's a tough sport because people got to understand that it's a lot of time and work you put into it. I mean, I've talked to some ladies that sometimes their first times they were scared because you got to think about it. You're out on a stage in a posing suit, half naked. You're tired. You're hungry. You're dehydrated. I mean, it's so much to this. And was figured the first division? I mean, the first division you started, or you were like some ladies we started bikini, or
no, I always started in figure because I've always had a really small waist and I've always had a really good upper body. For me, the challenge was just I had good legs, but it's just getting, getting lean enough, right? So you can get the striations. It's funny you say people are nervous. I'm weird. I don't think like when it's show day, I actually enjoy like the last few days right before the show because you're getting carbs. Like, to me, the work is done. Like, I actually enjoy the day of the show. Like, I probably like when my sister and I were at nationals, I was like, we're probably annoying people because we're like laughing and joking and just like sitting down, putting our feet up. But to me, the work is already done. So I always tell people, like, go have fun. Like, getting on stage at this point, maybe I feel this way because, I speak in front of a lot of people on a regular basis. I've cheered. I'm not really scared to get in front of people, but I just always feel like, have fun at that point. There's nothing more you can do, quite frankly. Like, you've already done the work. So I'm like, at this point, it's like, I'm going out here. I'm going to turn up. I'm going to have fun. I've already done the work. And so I don't think I'm ever, like scared or anything. I just think I'm just like ready to go at that point because I've already done all the work.
Yeah, that's a lot of work to put into this. At the time, who's working with? Who's your coach and your trainer? Who are you working with right now?
So Dave Hintz, so he's Tamika and my coach. So he's been our coach. I've worked with him for years, but like I said, I took years off. So I always joke, I'm like, Dave, I had you on retainer because like there were years I just didn't even compete. But I think he's a great coach. I think he really cares about the health of his athletes, and it's been a joy working with him. And then having my sister obviously work with him as well.
That's pretty good. You have the same coach, y'all. We have here this is from my man Ward 2000. He says Shannon, what is Shannon's current favorite IFBB pro figure athlete? So, like I said, who are you a fan of in the sport, like in your division and other divisions?
Yeah, so I would say Candace was really my favorite at the beginning. Obviously she's taking some time off. She's had a baby. Well, now I think it just had her second baby.
Candace who? I wouldn't know them.
What's her married name now? I got to think about what is Candace's married, because she's married now. But she was, I would say she was my first favorite. And then let me look because I don't want to get somebody's name wrong because I know she got married. So Carter is her married name. So Candace Carter. So I mean, she's been in the top 3 4 figure for years. Like and all, I think probably she was my first favorite because people were coming there like, you have a small waist like her, and But I love her. I follow her and have for years. And then I would say Sid is, but I think Sid is, I mean, clearly we all know Sid, but I think she's my favorite, not only because, obviously she's number one in the world, but her personality, I think, she's very humble. And I think that like she knows she's great, but the way she carries herself, I really love, because I think that, having humility is so important, and bringing people with you. So I would say Sid is my favorite, but I think for multiple reasons. I like her character, and then her build too. So she is, I actually quoted her in one of my posts when I got my pro card, because my frame is smaller. Actually, like my coach was telling me, he's like, you have a smaller frame, because I'm now in like bulking season, and he's like, we got to put a little bit more muscle on you. But I like her frame because I have a similar frame, but I need to get some more muscle. But I love that, because she said it's not always about size, it also is about the symmetry and how you look. So for me, that was like really good to hear, because I'm like, I'm not the biggest, but I have really good symmetry.
Yeah, because you look at the division now, you got Sid, people say Cindy Gillen, and then there's Jessica Reyes-Padilla, there's Laura Montez, Cherish Richardson, there's Nicole Zenobia Graham. I mean, like I said, I've been following figure a little bit, because mostly my content, most of the country, a little bit more on women's bodybuilding and bigger physique. But I just did an interview with one lady who does figure, your sister also, a couple others. I'm trying to expand my content. And if you look at the divisions now, they have kind of changed over the years, because I remember when it first started out, it was a little bit more like kind of like bikini girls were just, I think, like this, figure was like the third division in women's bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
And there was that many, it was women's bodybuilding, then fitness, and then figure came in. And then with bikini, it kind of was pulled in where it wasn't evolved like the other divisions, like physique has kind of evolved from women's bodybuilding. You see there's those strong parallels between divisions. Like your sister was doing wellness.
Yeah.
And then she did wellness at nationals, and then she earned a pro card in figure.
Well, I think you see the crossovers, and Tamika could, quite frankly, could have done all the divisions, because like I told her, it really like just is how she wants to fine tune her body. Like I think for folks, especially if you run track, like you work your whole body, so you've got all the parts, and then I think it just comes down to identifying whether you want to get your legs smaller. So like for my sister Tamika, right, it was like, oh, okay, I have to lean my legs out a little bit more, but you still keep the mass. So I do feel like there is becoming more crossover. I know for me, I've never aspired to crossover. I mean, bikini, I'd have to get too small, and that's not happening. So and then wellness, I think you really want to your legs can stay bigger, but I think for me, figure is perfect. So I have never aspired to crossover. I think it's like the perfect interim for me, because I can keep the good shoulder width. I can keep my small waist. I just got to push through for the legs to make sure that, I'm conditioned enough. But I do see that more people are crossing over, and but it sometimes can, I think for some folks, they're trying to make sure that they're in alignment with what the judges are looking for. And that part, I think, can be a challenge sometimes, especially if you see one look and then you're like, oh, okay, well, this person plays high. So I don't aspire to crossover. I am figure in and out. So that's probably where I will stay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. No, I respect that, because I know some ladies who have followed, like, Ashley Jones, she was figure, she went up. The former women's physique champ in Olympia, Natalia Coelho, she was. Shanique Grant also. It's just, yeah, process the athlete as they grow. I know when I talk with some women in physique, they say they don't want to go over the bodybuilding, because the fact is they want to feel like they're getting bigger. But the fact is, as you grow and develop, and then we say again, the judges, they have a lot of
yeah.
We have here, this is from Man War 2000. He says, Cindy Gillen is the Linda Murray of the figure division. She's fantastic. Shout out to Warrior. Also, he said this, he says, all divisions have increased in terms of muscle sizes and with a lot of the athletes. Yeah, that's kind of true. And like I said, if you are growing, developing in the sport, and you feel like you want to go up, that's good. But you feel like you're more comfortable in your division, let's stick with it. Folks, we're going to jump into Tamika's social media for a bit. Look at some pictures and stuff. I know you guys like that, because you know what? I got these guys in here. I mean, I tell you, Tamika, you ever remember the episode of Chappelle's Show when I always like talk about this, because it's a great example of that. how when Charlie Murphy met Prince and they got Nikki Free, and people thought Nikki Free was a chick, and say like, hey, Prince got say Charlie got a new girl, she's fine, the motherfucker. That's how the acting was.
Well, Prince is my favorite artist of all time, so that's funny that you say that. He's my favorite.
This is a debate. I have a debate with a lady who we're cool with. She likes Michael Jackson. I like Michael, but just like this, Michael was an entertainer. Prince was an artist.
Yeah, he impacted so many artists. Like people don't realize, like a lot of the artists. Well, I don't know. We have some interesting artists today, but I would say that a lot of really good music is inspired. A lot of people will say Prince inspired him, and I think he's just was unique and had his own style. And just I love Prince. I was so sad. He literally had a concert right before I moved to Denver, and I missed him. And I was like, oh, but I've been to Paisley Park, all the things. But yeah, he's my favorite, definitely of all time.
Like that's Prince.
Yes.
This is from the R. He says this game blouses. Yes. Yeah, that was true. Prince knew how to play basketball. So folks, we're going to dip into social media in a bit. But here, guys, I got a rule for you. I know Prince. I'm telling you right now. Shannon's a lovely young lady, attractive young lady.
You
guys, be respectful. And I tell you this by verbatim because I know you some weird guys out there, Shannon. I'm warning you. No D pics. Stop it.
Yes.
Get don't. Have respect for yourself and this lady. So we can jump in here and we'll look at some pictures here. And like I said, I think she has a great physique. This is from Nationals where you competed. And, you look pretty good. I mean, wow. When they told you you are now IB Pro, what was your feeling in your head when you heard that?
Literally, Tamika and I talked this morning as we were on the freaking Stairmaster. I don't think it's really hit. I think that for me, because they moved me in the middle and I stayed my positioning. Like I never left from the middle. And I think for me at that moment, I was like, it really paid off. Because, there are moments like throughout the year that I was like, I'm freaking doing cardio at 1 a.m. I'm tired. Because like I said, I'm a director for major Fortune 500 technology company. And, just all the things that were happening. We had some deaths in the family. I was traveling a ton. And I just was like, in that moment, I was like, it's paid off. And what a blessing and sticking to the plan. And, and was, like I said, really thankful to be able to do it with family. And it just, I think for us, it's really like the beginning. And it's a testament to if you stick to your goals and aspirations, you will achieve them. So I think in that moment, it was like the work is paid off. And, now on to my next shenanigans of my next goals. So I was very excited and very happy.
Well, we say we're
going to ask for a better day. Here they come.
That's our coach.
Sister, Doublemint twins, 2 wins. Congratulations. Right. Going to ask for a better day.
Yeah, congratulations. I can say that y'all put in that time, you put into work, and you deserve it, and
that's my best friend. One of my best friends. He flew from New York. He
came all the way down to New York to see his bestie, huh?
Yeah, I'm so blessed. I have literally so many great friends. Like literally, Brandon and I were roommates, and our other friend Mallory. We're actually doing a bestie trip in April. But we've been friends since undergrad, and he flew out from New York, to come out for the weekend to see me compete, which it's crazy because when your friends all come out, you're in the zone. So in my head, I felt terrible because I'm like, and that's my other best friend. We've been friends since preschool. Courtney, she lives actually in Dallas, and she flew to Chicago for my shows, but we literally went to preschool together. We've been friends since then. We actually celebrated her birthday yesterday, but it takes a village, and I call it my circle of excellence. And I never take it for granted. I have good family, great friends, great employees. a strong just support system. And it really takes that and a lot of understanding as you're prepping for shows. And this was actually the Virgin Islands. I went to the Virgin Islands for 2 weeks. My line sister lives out there. And after the show, I was going to go to Ghana and change my mind. And she said, come on out, LS, come on out. And so I went out there, spent Christmas and New Year's in the Virgin Islands with her. But again, like I said, you just have to have good friends, family, and people that support you and understand the sacrifice and can put it in perspective. So yeah,
a lot of people, like I said, my ladies I interviewed told me that sometimes their fans don't understand what they're doing, why they're into it. This is a hobby sport. Like I said, one thing is that's not a lot of money in it. Is as you just got your pro card as amateur, you got to pay entrance fees. You got to pay. That's just other than like your coach. You got to pay your coach, your trainer. You pay gym fees, food, the cost.
It's crazy.
Training, your posing suits right there. That's right there. That's right there. Half of your income, you might as well say. And also, this is your business. This is where you state of women in business, and this is something you do, or?
Oh, so yeah, like I said, so I'm actually a director for Verizon. I actually took a promotion to move to Dallas a year ago to stand up a new segment to the business. So I'm the director for their customer success team. I've been with Verizon for 10 years. I've had 11 promotions, and so that's why I said I'm very busy. With that, having a lot of employees and leaders that report to me. And I got the opportunity to actually speak on Verizon's behalf at Houston and talk about technology. And I'm an investor. I bought another property this year. So that's why I said it's been such a blessed but crazy last year. Like people have no idea how much stuff I was working on in the background. So I have a multi-unit in Chicago after I moved from there. That's Tamika's in Chicago. I had moved from Denver to Chicago to be the director for downtown Chicago in business and then moved to Dallas. But that's one other avenue of income. Every few years I look to buy a new property and close on a property right before the end of the year as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's good. That's good to have some business because business it helps. One thing with bodybuilding, I think if bodybuilding have more mainstream interest in it, like you work for Verizon, if anything, I think they would be interested in maybe sponsoring you. One thing, do you have any sponsors?
We do. So Andy B Bikinis, you just pulled them up. They're our suit sponsor. I loved my suit that they made for me this time. Like again, that's why I said it's just stay the path and things will come your way. So they sponsored Tamika and I. Then Angel Bikinis also is sponsoring us. We're walking in the Arnold, their fashion show come March. So that came out of the woodworks. CYL, I started doing infrared, which I love like the last few weeks right before the show. But they've sponsored me. So I get to go there, free sauna, lymphatic rolls. Like, so that happened. My massage, like so many little things have come out of the woodwork in terms of sponsorships. And so super pumped. I think we'll continue to get more sponsors in terms of, whether it is, suits, we're good to go. So I'm good to go in terms of my sponsorships there. But just like you mentioned, like there's so many other costs associated. So like even me having CYL Dallas for my massages, for the infrared sauna, which is so good for your health, for multiple things, right? Cutting weight, but then also I'd say for your mental health capacity, because I love going in there and just relaxing because the actual lighting, like I had no idea about all these things, but it's all those things that cost money. Like you don't think about, I am talking to a few people in reference to sponsorships for food, because with my schedule, historically, I had been using food prep companies in Chicago. But so Deliciously Fit, like they're phenomenal. They used to send my food every week. But then now being in Dallas, there's a few places I'm starting to look at to see potential sponsorships, because with so much travel that I'm doing, prepping food is just not one of those things I'd prefer to have to want to do. I want to grab my food and go.
Yeah, because like I said, one thing you got to understand about being a bodybuilder. Food is the most important part of developing. It's both a weapon and a tool. It's good for building your body, depending on what you eat. Sometimes you can't eat everything. I remember when I was doing an interview with one lady, she was eating gelatos during her prep. So, you have that cheat day. Now, as we were on the subject of food, now after that show, after the Nationals, I know. Yeah, Tamika on this one. I get you on this one. What was that thing that was calling you? That thing that you wanted the most? That thing you desired?
You're gonna laugh. Like I could eat healthy all day. I love Gushers. I have a sweet tooth. It's such a weird thing that I love Gushers. My team, when I got back to the office, no joke, they had bought me like 10 boxes of Gushers, and I love macaroons. And so I had this huge bouquet of flowers and all these macaroons, all these Gushers. My boss even brought me in some Gushers. Like, so they know I love Gushers. I have a sweet tooth. I love ice cream and I love Gushers, all the sweetie things. But food wise, you know, when you win, you have a photo shoot the next morning. So me and Tamika were laughing because we're like, yeah, we're about to eat this meal, we're doing this. And then literally, like, they were like pinged us like, hey, y'all got a photo shoot. And so that night our coach took us out to eat. Our friends, we went out to eat and it was great. But yeah, the food I really don't care about. I never have, because like I love sweet potato fries, like I love steak. So like that's why I'm like, from a food aspect, it really is nothing too big. It's just sticking to, it's the no sweets. Like I think for me, that's the hard part, and just eating all the food, like getting all the food in. Because even my diet right now, like I text my coach this morning and I'm like, man, this is a lot of food. But like I said, I need to get bigger. Like I think someone put in the comments, right? Like the divisions are getting bigger. So for me, you know, my conditioning is there. The shape is there. I'm just going to have to get bigger. When you think about the pro level, that's going to be for me the difference. And so I'm going to have to I call it the uncomfortable fluffy time, but I'm going to have to go through that season so that I can get big enough and then that way can do really well at the pro level.
Yeah, because I've seen in comments, because like I said, we have so many comments here. Like I said, this is from War 2000. There are some figure and fitness athletes that would think if you saw them, they could switch to women's physique. I share this every so often when I talk about this, especially because I talk about this quite often because how you look at some divisions now. Like I posted this a while back. I was talking about how you look at someone like you know, like this is one example here, like Missy Trescott and Sarah.
Yeah.
Even though they're, like I said, they told me how the X-frame factors are different. It's just so close. You know, you wouldn't think there were two different divisions, but it's just, instead again, it's about the process as athlete as you go. We got a comment here, and I just saw it. Like I said, so many comments here. This is from Miss April Lynn. He says, "Grand day, sister. So proud of you.
Hey, lady.
Hashtag let's elevate." Thank you, Lynn. Thank you for coming through. Also, this is from my man Warrior 2000. He says, "Welcome to the IFBB Elite Pro ranks, Shannon." And also, this is from him. He said, also, much respect to your success. And like I said, it's good you have success, because one thing, like I said again, there's a lot of work from this sport. And the mindset of most people, we see, you know, bodybuilders, think bodybuilders, like, okay, you take this pill, that pill, it's this and this and that. But it's so many factors to everything. Right? You have to train, you have to follow a diet, you have to be consistent. There's days where I know you get up in the morning and you say, like, especially how the weather, because you're in Dallas, it's not too bad in Dallas, is it, compared to, you know, how's the weather down that way?
So I shouldn't complain because I'm from Iowa. I'm from the Midwest, and I was just in Chicago and living on Michigan Avenue, so where the water is. But Dallas has been cold. They've had lots of pipes freezing. I was traveling. I was in LA for Founders Day this past weekend, and I had to have a neighbor, like I had to give him the code to my house to go in there and like drip the pipe. So it's been crazy in Dallas lately. It's been cold. It's been cold. But historically not. I mean, normally it's not. You don't wake up and you're not freezing. But I think what you just said, like, right, you have to keep the discipline and the consistency on the days you don't want to. Like, truly just trying to figure it out in my schedule, like no matter what. Like we had a death in the family. I had to go down to Alabama, and this was weeks before the show. You still, like, the show still goes on. Like, so I had to get down there, cook food, and get up earlier, go to the gym. And but you know, it shows you that you just have to find a way. If you truly want it, you will find a way to get it done, or you will find a way to make the excuses of why you can't. Like, I have lots of leadership things that come into play. Like just this next week, we're gonna have our SVP in town. There's like 2 dinners planned after work, and you figure it out. Like you literally have to figure it out if you want to be successful, or you'll just make an excuse of why you can't do it.
Yeah, I know. Like I know sometimes I was going to the gym, but I had some stuff sidetrack me. But I'm thinking about going back when I get a chance to. It's tough. I mean, the time you put in, the work. Now, this is something I always ask. What's your favorite and least favorite exercise when you're working out? Which is the one that you say, I love it. This one say, I don't want to do it.
I have to say squats, but mine is I would say squats or leg press, because your legs, you need your legs and you want to look good, and they're really important. But running track in college and being a sprinter, like my knees sometimes bother me. So it's probably my least favorite, but I like it because I like the results. I mean, you look good, your legs start to build and it works, but probably my least favorite. I would say my favorite, I really like side raise. I have this like routine I do that I'll do like side raise, front raise, bent over row, tabletop. Like I'll do like 200 reps like within a certain amount of time. And every time I ever put anybody through that workout, they're always like dying. Like they're like, what is this? And I love it because I'm just like, let's go. Because Tamika's like, this is terrible. And I'm like, I know it's terrible, but it's so good. And so, yeah, I love all the shoulder stuff. Like I don't mind it. Legs, this time around, I pushed through and did the stuff I was supposed to, but I think it's more I don't like it because of my knees, not really because I just don't want to do it.
I can say about knees because I have knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold used to wear double braces, and and I tell you, I mean, it's just tough. The knees is it supports the rest of the body. I was talking to orthopedics. I might think about I might need surgery on my right knee. It's just I'm trying not. I take shots and take pills. I'm okay, but I try. I've been cut before because I have a pacemaker right here, and because a while back I had a heart attack about 10 years ago, but I'm doing fine. It's just I had to take care of myself. Also, this process, I was taking care of my mother. After after quit my job and she got sick, I was taking care of her. She passed away it's gonna be 4 years coming up in this summer. But yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, it's a lot of work what you're doing. I mean, you're killing your sister. I mean, that's your baby sister. Come on, have a little sympathy for the little girl. I mean, so anyway, one big question is, what is the plan for 2024?
So in transparency, which my coach is probably, if he watches this, is going to be like, what? But I was like, I'm getting my pro card and I'm going to like take some time off. That was initially, if I'm being honest, was my plan because like I mentioned, I have a nonprofit, No Defeat Warriors, which is focusing on health and wellness and young adults and children. And then also in underserved or marginalized communities, and then also focusing on their financial acumen. And so I really wanted to spend a lot of time this year on that, in addition to, like I said, I have my corporate job, which it's not a small stint. But then also which this is the first it being shared. I actually have a photo shoot after this, but I'm going to be getting my doctorate degree. So in health education and promotional health. So like, I really am passionate about helping others, and really my goal is to lean into my nonprofit and leverage that doctorate degree to be able to speak at different universities and continue to partner with different nonprofits. And but I think after I competed, I was thinking like, well, you're actually in pretty good shape now. So and for me, I always have to have goals to keep me on track. Like every year I have 8 goals, and like I stick to these goals to get them done. And so now I am considering competing this year. My coach and I talked, and so the Chicago Pro is not completely out. We'll just see how I'm looking, because that shows on my birthday too, to top it off. So it's it was cool to be able to win it last year, but now to get to go back as a pro would be really cool and to compete. So potentially Chicago Pro. There is the Tampa show that is like the month later. So really we'll play it by ear, but I do want to compete before August because I've got some big trips. I'm going to Barbados and Aruba, and those are already paid for. So I'm definitely going on those trips, and I don't want to be in prep. Last year I still went on my international trips, but I was in prep. So I couldn't do all the things. And this year I want to be able to still do all the things. And so I am looking to do my pro debut this year, which I'm proud because I literally was like, I'm taking the year off, and now I feel a little bit differently. I feel like it can be done. I'm going to be starting a doctorate program. I still have my corporate stuff going on. I still have my nonprofit, but I think what will happen is I'll just have to start to delegate more, right? Delegate more. And the diet part is, if I have the food prep down, it's just finding the time. And so, yeah, the plan is to compete this year and see how I'm lining up, see how much muscle mass I can put on and go up there and compete.
Yeah, I mean, Chicago is one of the popular shows. It's one of the few shows that have women's bodybuilding. Tampa is also another show. There's the Texas Pro. I don't know.
Yeah, it's June 15th though, and so I don't know. It's actually a few days before my dad's birthday, and I'm really like, it's so crazy because the dates of I always. Me and my sister went pro 2 days before my mom's birthday, which she was like ecstatic, right? It's right before her birthday. She competed on my birthday. The pro-am, the Texas one, is 2 days before my dad's birthday. But we'll have to see, because I like to win. So I don't want to go and just say, oh, I competed. Like, I want to do well. And so we got to see how well I do in this off season in terms of bulking up.
Well, we get his comment from Miss April Lane. Says, "You got this, sis." Shout out to you. Thank you. You got support. And that's good that you have support, like from your sister, April, right here, your family. Like I said, a lot of ladies tell me that sometimes. I said again, it's a tough sport. People never can understand it. And then, as I said again, there's so much to this. You got to respect your passion for it, because you got to have passion for it. Because, like I said again, there's not a lot of money. And and the cost of being a woman in sport is a lot more than a man, because the guys, you got to wear a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts. That's about it. So again, the ladies, you have to have your posing suits, your tanning, your hair, your makeup.
Oh my gosh, all the things.
Yeah, all the things. And you know what? You have to love this sport to do it. And it's good that you have your job, because, like I said, a lot of ladies, they don't have a full time. Some have jobs, but you have a job in the corporate world. Some have jobs. I know ladies who have jobs in medicine. Some women have jobs. I interviewed a couple ladies who were doctors. So,
Yeah.
like in old westerns, a sawbone. So and there's some ladies who do work in the fitness realm of the sport, and also the way for some women to make their money on the side is, like, as I call them, some ladies who you do like stuff as excuse my language, that's what they are, to beat the meat websites. Yeah, because if you look at it, the fan base for the women's divisions. If you look at the men's division, the fan base is mostly focused more. Our guys are just overall, the men are always going to get bigger fan base because men's bodybuilding is a lot more popular. Other than bikini and wellness, those divisions are becoming very popular because they fit the aesthetics of what's pleasing as femininity. But then if you look even in your division figure, as you know, Arnold kicked out women's figure just out last year.
I know, yeah. So it's interesting. We're walking at the show. They don't have figure.
I know a young lady who does fitness. I interviewed her a while back. She's going to be making she debuted last year. She her name is Anna Famina. She made her pro debut at Chicago this last year, and she did Tampa, and now she's got invited to the All Schwarzenegger Classic, because there's only 3 divisions in this classes. That's fitness, wellness, and bikini. And wellness and bikini, as I call them, the TNA divisions.
Yeah. Well, first off, I want to acknowledge April, because you had called her out there. She is doing some fitness stuff too herself. She is phenomenal and is an entrepreneur and owns a business. She's awesome. So thank you for the support. And she's some of my Chicago excellence, those folks there. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, I am blessed because from a financial standpoint, like, I do have my career, but it also at the same time makes it a little hard because, like, you do have those other responsibilities. So there's pros and cons of having that. It is, I do think it's a little interesting just to kind of see the different divisions and how they pan out. I feel like figure though is such a good combination though, because I think you do have women that are still very feminine. Like, I think, you still can be very pretty and very feminine, feminine in figure. Like, that's why I feel like it's a good balance, because you are still very muscular, but you're still like, right. You still got to look pretty in my opinion. I think, I will be curious to see how that all pans out. It will be cool to get to go to the Arnold this year. And hopefully they bring figure back. It's
Well, from what I feel like it's a money thing. They're saying because not a lot of people buy the tickets or whatever else. It's just so many stories where I heard. But I think because as I said again, the division is starting getting a little bit more closer to like if you look at how physique started, physique was supposed to be a replacement for women's bodybuilding. But then a lot of ladies who compete in women's bodybuilding either quit bodybuilding or went to physique, and then that division evolved. And then if you look at now and figure, a lot of ladies who decided, they came up from bikini because one thing they say, the surgeons don't want you to have too much gyration in the glutes as a bikini competitor. You're even not too much in physique. It's just the rules keep changing. Like I know one lady, she told me like when she got her pro card after the judge gave her she said, "Oh, we need more size of your lats." And you think you need more full in your shoulders. I mean, one time I was talking to one lady where she was at a show. She's a lady she was rooting for. Said she's a lot more fuller. And then she should have placed a little higher. But then the thing is, if she's supposed to be fuller, that's not for physique. That's for women's bodybuilding. We got here. Here's this from April. She says this. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you. That's good.
My pleasure.
And also, you always find the strength through trials and tribulation, to press on and to achieve your goal, no matter what the circumstances. Thank you, my man, Warrior 2000. That is like, but better yet to say this. The quote from my one of my favorite characters, Rocky Balboa. He says, "This is his son. It says, not about how hard you take the hits, it's how much you can take the hits to keep on moving forward."
And you're gonna laugh. And Rocky is probably one of my favorite movies. I've probably watched that during prep, like the one with the what is that with the Russian? That one. So I probably watched that one at least 60 times during prep. In the first one, like someone bought me for Christmas one year a Rocky shirt. I love Rocky because I love the story. So I can literally watch those movies over and over and over again. And Gladiator.
I got a shirt. I don't wear it anymore because it's gotten shrunk a little bit because it washed so much. It's Mick from Rocky saying, "I'm gonna make you eat lightning and crap out thunder." I mean, it's
really,
yeah, because Rocky's that hero that we inspires everybody. I mean, everybody like Rocky 1, 2, because the first one he didn't win, but then the second one he won, and then the first one he lose to Mr. T. Remember Mr. T going say, "Hey, woman, come over your house and say you're a real man about," and And it just in Rocky 4, Apollo dies. He beats Ivan Drago. Rocky 5 fight in the street. And then Rocky 6, then I'm not too much of the creeds. I ain't get into them too much, but it's just that story about how he came for nothing and built himself. He fell back. This is from my man Warrior. He says this is Rocky 4 is my favorite out of the
mine too. Yeah, it is, and it's just like I said, it's almost. It just is all like one thing I tell my parents all the time. The best thing that they taught us, is that you can truly do anything you put your mind to. Don't let anybody stop you. And I take that mentality when it comes to everything I do. And I think my siblings do the same. And when you look at a story like Rocky's, it is a true reminder, right, that you press forward. And, I think his character, he doesn't make excuses. He figures it out. And that's life. And I think the folks who are most successful, they figure it out. They don't make excuses for themselves. It's not saying that you don't identify and understand that things happen. Life happens, but it really is how you handle the things that happen to you. And I just feel like there are no coincidences. Everything that happens is supposed to happen the way it is. When I think about like even the timeline of me getting my pro card, quite frankly, I probably should have and could have got my pro card years ago if I'd have stuck to the plan, but I didn't. I took time off and did those things. And then I look at time now and go, well, God just wanted it to be this way. Me and Tamika get our pro cards at the same time. And now we get to go on this journey together in a different capacity. And so that's why I say, things, there are no coincidences, but you also have to put in the work and you can't make excuses for yourself. You have to press through and understand that the way things happen are the way they're supposed to happen.
Yeah, that's how it is. Sometimes things are set for a certain reason. Like this is true. So when my mother had her first seizure, I quit my job. I was here home that day. And that's a good thing I was here because my two nephews were here. My brother was here. I was the one who just kind of took charge. And sometimes there's some things happen for a purpose. Sometimes some things happen for a reason, but it's good that maybe that time that you took off to rest, to do your business, and work on you. And then when you're ready, you're ready. I mean, it's about the process. Here we got here, man, War 2000 says, Ivan Drago, the Siberian machine. Like in the movie, he says, if he dies, he dies. You know,
I know. I'm laughing because I watched that movie. So, because when you're doing all this cardio, you got to figure out what you can do. I felt bad because I was trying to one of my goals was to read the Bible, the entire Bible, and I was like, this is perfect time, but I couldn't do it. It was so funny because there were days I would literally go to church and then I'd go to the gym and I'd be turned up and I'd have to either watch a movie or listen to some ratchet music. But I was like, I gotta press through. It is what it is. This is where we at. So
that's why I do sometimes. Like when I used to work out, when I go play fitness. I know it's not everybody's favorite, especially for bodybuilding gym, but
that's always clean though. That's my backup always. That Planet Fitness is always clean. They have what you need, so I don't discount them. I'll always keep that membership because they're everywhere too. So shout out to Planet Fitness because
shout out to Planet Fitness. I know a lot of bodybuilders talk shit about it, but hey, it's my gym. I go to. I need to go back to it. I need to go back to it and just get. But I used to have I have a playlist, and I'm gonna send it to you later. It's somebody has it's a mix. It's using Rocky Balboa, and you can hear it kind of when sometimes when I'm on the treadmill or I'm on the bike, I hear it. It gives me that extra energy to go because it's here. I like Rocky, but I have a particular movie I like because I'm a fan of The Dark Knight. I'm a fan of him. I love the whole Chris Nolan Batman series. I mean, up to the last one, Dark Knight Rises. My favorite is. I'm always gonna love it because he took that character, he ran with it. I love the Dark Knight.
He did. Yes,
Batman Begins, great. There's some great quotes from Batman Begins. Like one of my favorites is from the first part of the movie when Bruce falls into the thing, and then his father says, "Bruce, why do we fall? Could we learn to pick ourselves up?" And sometimes I've seen some ladies say, "George, thank you for sending me that." Because sometimes it's good to give you that little because this is a tough thing about bodybuilding. This is a sport that can be stress. Mentally, financially, physically. I mean, it's so much to this sport. Overall, you're starving yourself. Sometimes you got to overeat and undereat. You drink this and drink that. I mean, there's so much to the sport. It's so encompassing. And I mean, especially for a woman, it can be tough for a woman because most people, society did not feel that women with muscle is like me. I love y'all ladies. I'm my sin. I'm a muscle person. I think y'all ladies are beautiful, especially black women. I love black women muscle. It's beautiful. People like Andrea Shaw is my favorite. I mean, I love her. People like Linda Murray, like my man, Warrior mentioned. People like Carla Dunlap, just beautiful women who have represented themselves in the sport. And that's why I just love talking with you, women like you who have a passion for it. We got here my man, Kale the Wanderer. He's a hater, but he does content. So, sexiest man in the house. Oh, thank you for telling me, Kale. Thank you. I take that.
Oh man.
Let me talk about you when you get it, but I take it. And he says, this says the Joker is insane. Yes, he's a particular type of criminal. It just takes a while to look at the cadence, when he's talking, And to tell you something, Shannon, you are beautiful. Oh no, he said this. He's talking about me. Well, I don't think you're sexy, kid. I don't get down like that.
Oh my goodness.
I don't swing that way. Yeah, no, I don't swing that way. That's not me. Also, he says, hot chocolate sundae. Yeah, he's also interviewing a lady who competes in figure later this afternoon. We'll check out his interview. And it's just good that we guys come in. Like I said, this men like us, like KL, Warrior, Mike, we my ladies. We find y'all ladies just something about y'all. I'm from North Carolina. We have women who are different shapes and sizes. But something like I got the opportunity to meet ladies like who are in the sport of bodybuilding. I got to meet Shauna Boswell in Fayetteville. She was here for a little seminar. It's from a guy named Glenn. He runs his own magazine and he got a seminar together. I got to meet a lady who had become friends with Marianne Wachowski. I met Alina Popa when I went to Savannah last year. No, not last year, it was 2022. Donna Salib and many other ladies in sport. I mean, it's just we just say, but we also is a must person mode. I remember this guy told me this. He asked me, when I first time was on, it was on this message. It was a chat room. We talked about it was like a fan for women's bodybuilding. Say, hey kid, you like female bodybuilding? I said, yeah, I'm a fan of it. Say, well, this is an old saying. When your ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard. So it's just exciting. Yeah, because it's exciting when you get to go see my first show. I saw Andrea did guest posing along with Mona
Oh,
personally.
yeah.
And and it was great to see Andre. I'm a fan of hers. She signed autographed her magazine for me because a friend of mine, Eunice, she was there at the Olympia. She signed it for me, and it's just when I do this content and I talk about you ladies, and I become friends with you ladies, and just it's just I'm just amazed about what y'all go through and what y'all do to do this sport.
Well, I think a few things you touched on. Well, first off, I love that. I appreciate, you taking the time to interview, me and other athletes. And I do think a few things, like you said, women, it is, I was about to say an acquired taste, but it truly is. Like, I think it's like you have men and people who, and society, right? That like people see me. I was on vacation when I went to the Virgin Islands, right? I was probably still more ripped up than I am now. And I remember this guy was there with his wife, and he must have been a trainer at some point in time. But, they came up, and I mean, he was going on and on. He's like, yeah, it's just amazing. You look phenomenal, and like super intrigued and just having the conversation. So it's like, it's such extremes. Like you have men that are like, they love it, and they're just like, wow, I'm amazed, because they know the discipline and sacrifice, right? That speaks a lot about your character, I think, more than anything. People do competing because that tells me that you are disciplined and that you stick to the goals that you have, right? So I think there's even more to that when you think about people who compete. But it is extreme. Like you have some people who love it, and you have some people that are like, it's disgusting. Like I would, like I don't want my lady like, with those muscular and stuff like that. But I mean, I have never had like most people I run into, like either at least respected and understand, or or they like women in shape, right? So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta respect the process. So, folks, we do appreciate the time that Shannon gave us because she's a busy lady. She was had to rush here to do this interview. She has a photo session to do. Who are you taking? Is it yours or who are you working with?
No, so I have a photo shoot. D, actually his name is D, but I literally have a shoot. So it'll be not. It's not really. It's actually like a more professional one. So it's not going to be as much fitness stuff. We'll have to do, because I do have some other sponsorships. I need to get some photos. Like I need to do better on my content. So it's funny when you pulled up my page, I'm like, I have so much content that needs to be posted. It's not even funny. But yeah, the shoot is literally in the next hour. So I need to go change. Like my makeup is about to be professionally done. All these things. I was like, man, I wish because I'm going to be looking all great here in like 1 hour. But yeah, I have a shoot here coming up in an hour, and but I'm glad that we had the time and found the time. And yeah, I just think it's cool to see all the interviews, because I started looking at some of the other interviews you've done, and just to listen to everyone's journey and the difference, and all the support. So really appreciate it.
Well, like I said, this is from my quote from my man Batman Begins, when Jim Gordon said to Bruce Wayne, to Batman, says, "I forgot to thank you." He said, "You never have to," because this gives me a purpose. This gives me, because like I said, I've been a fan of Fear About It for a long time. Actually, I got into, my brother used to play football here in our hometown. He collected them. He used to get the magazines. I grew up with like Lee Heaney, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno, Arlo, the Incredible Hulk, and you ladies were something different from me. And just to do content about y'all, because there's not a lot of people that do it. Like there's KL right here. There's a Female Body channel. There's also the name David Bryant, Female Body Forum. There's also the Spot. We like to give y'all ladies a spotlight because you deserve it. I mean, except again, the men's division is the bottom bitch because it brings in the money for IFBB, NPC. That's true for. But you ladies, you put much time, much work, you deserve much money. I think we had a discussion how Andre Shaw should at least get maybe 100K. If the guy in third place can get 100K at the Olympia,
it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy who wins the Olympic walks away with $1 million. But we all know it's because of promotions and promoters and also sponsorship. But yeah, I think women like you deserve your spotlight. You deserve your opportunity, and you deserve the chance to really show yourself and to prove yourself. Well, here's this from man K. Early says, there's people who understand and people who don't understand. We're in bodybuilding. That's true.
Yeah, I agree.
And also, this is from man War. He says like this: bodybuilders deals with a lot of baggage in terms of social media encounters all the time. Which case you got to have enough tough skin to not let anything bother them. Yeah, because it's like I know some ladies told me that sometimes they get a little stink-eyed, like especially like one lady. One lady doing an interview how she's a mom. She has 2 sons. She went to like one of those parent-teachers conferences, and all the guys are looking at her, but the wives are kind of like. haters. They be sticking like was it Silky Johnson, haters of the year, player haters of the year.
I believe
Also, it's from Ben. KL says it depends on if they want to talk to me, George. Yeah, they'll talk to you. You know, it just take time. He's a good dude. You just gotta understand. But anyway, folks, I will say this: if you're someone out there, and she has sponsors, but a little more sponsors doesn't help, especially in financial ways. If you're someone interested in sponsors, Shannon, like I said again, her social media stuff is in the description. If you have true plans she want to work with, this is a businesswoman. This is not no play pit. This is a businesswoman. Don't be that guy. This is what I'm telling you. I do this because, hey Shannon, I saw your videos. I saw you. You know, you kind of cheat chuck a little thing. Yeah. Whoa, dude, stop right there. Stop right there. I said like this, Miss Burge, I have a plan, and if you are agreeable with me, we can work something out. We can set things out. We can take care of you as an athlete and see you cross and grow. That's all we want to see you do. That's what we want from you. And if you're agreeable with our plan, we'll set it in paper and give it to you, and you can look it over. That's right. Yeah, that's what you ladies deserve. You know, you're gonna get the weird guys, and you're gonna get the guys, and that's why I tell them, and especially I say this because I remember one time I've been doing Zoom for a while, and they tell me crazy shit. You know what I mean? That's why I say, guys, no the pick, stop it. You know, don't do that. Get some help. Also, this is from man, from KA says, okay, so he's good. So now your plan is going to compete this year, and I wish you all the best of luck in that.
Thank you.
And also say hello to your pretty sister. You know, she's and both of y'all are beautiful. So I'm gonna say that. So as we're gonna let you go, what would you like to see more of out of bodybuilding for yourself and also as a competitor?
I would say that I want to continue to see people uplift each other. I think that it's great to have, how should I say this? It's good to have like the competition, right? But I really want to see people continue to uplift one another. I think that that's super important. And so I'd like to see more mentorship pieces, more of the athletes continuing to foster close relationships with not only each other as competitors, but also doing more mentorship because, like I said, I'm passionate about giving back. And I think that sometimes people overlook the power of just having those conversations with the youth about health and wellness and just being a part of their journey. So I'd like to see from bodybuilding just more community engagement. And I'd like to see, I think you mentioned it earlier on, but more money, from a financial standpoint for women in the sport, because they're working just as hard as men in the sport. And I know that, the men are bringing in more money, but quite frankly, if you get more people amplifying women in bodybuilding, right, the money will come as well. So those would be the two things that I would say I would like to see more of.
Yeah, and also I think more like benefits being a competitor. You got to pay. You got pro card every year. That's $200-300 in your pocket. More like medical insurance, life. You work a job. We have 401k. I've got a friend. He played football, and he's a men's bodybuilder. He's competed with my man Big Keith Williams. Shout out to Big Keith. We do live stream together, and he still gets a pension because he played for Green Bay. Back in the day. So bad Green Bay got put out by San Francisco. But yeah, I think it should be like when you done with your career as a bodybuilder, I think you should have some benefits after it. I mean, little stuff like that. If you're paying every year, keeping your pro card, that money should go to something like insurance. If you want to go, if you get sick, like I know somebody said does do GoFundMe, especially if you want to compete, or even if they get sick. I know a lady who did an interview. Her name is Brittany. She had to do a GoFundMe because she got sick. She just turned pro at North Americans a while back. Those little things could help out in your path as an athlete. It takes a lot of stress off of you.
It does.
And especially like this, the IFBB and the NPC, you're the product. We come see you. We come see y'all compete. We come see y'all on the stage. I think if there was one thing, if people can really, if bodybuilding get more mainstream, like, let's talk about The Rock might get involved in and other people. Some people don't like the idea, but hey, that's somebody people know and recognize. And, it used to be on television, but, after a while, because the sport's not as popular, they cut it out. It used to be on ESPN, it used to be on network television, but you can watch cornhole, poker, and, throwing darts. But, but also, this is from man K. He says, Put the knowledge to use. Thank you, KL. So anyway, before we let her go, we want to shout out to and say hello while you're here.
Anybody I want to shout out?
Yeah, sponsors, anybody.
Oh yeah, so I think we mentioned some of my sponsors earlier on, my suit sponsors. Just all my friends, family. I have a strong social media following, and I think I'm just always overwhelmed with things of the people I don't even know, like personally, that have followed my journey and sent notes throughout my entire prep. But really, my friends, family, my employees, my boss, like all my close friends. Like there's too many people to shout out, but like I said, I call it my circle of excellence, and I'm just so grateful and thankful every day for all the people that are close to me, who are not even close to me, who support me, love me, and always have my back and are speaking those great things even when I'm not in the room. So I'm just overwhelmingly thankful for my circle and especially my family and friends.
That's good. Shout out to also your Miss April Lynn, who's here. Shout out to your sister Tamika. Shout out to all these people that support you. My man KL says, congratulations, Shannon, on your pro card, and congratulations on that. Also, he says, you shout out me too, Shannon. No, she don't know you, so why she got to shout you out? So, but but we do appreciate the time you took out here, Shannon, and we wish you the best of luck in your future. Like I said, this is a tough sport. It's a lot you got to put into it. It's not much you get back out of it. But if you love what you do, you should enjoy it. But like I said, I still personally believe that if you love something, you should get something out of it. So, folks, as I said again, if you're interested in following Shannon, her social media stuff is in the description. If you're someone who's a sponsor, who really wants to sponsor, lovely young lady in her, her future as a competitive bodybuilder, really putting out content and really help out. If you have a plan, something that works, something that really is genuine, not the, you guys out there, I know you are because I ain't know you. Yeah, but be something genuine, something authentic, something that really help out these ladies. But anything can help is good. We really need women's bodybuilding divisions like figure, physique. They need help as much as anybody. They're not as getting much recognition. Shows are cutting down a bit, and it's a lot to do. But if there's people out there who really want to see ladies like Shannon and her sister and others grow in this sport, have a genuine plan. Reach out and just be, really giving support. Oh, yeah, here's this from AKF for us. Shannon, I said like this is, I am the player, George. Stop blocking. You're not a player. You just got to play. Like my man, don't hate the player, hate the damn game. So thank you, Shannon, for the time. We wish you all the best. I appreciate you. And just, like Rocky says, keep moving forward.
That's right.
Yeah. So, folks, I'd like to thank my man Michael Boyce for coming through, my man Warrior 2000, my man K.L. Wanderer, also lovely Miss April Lynn. Thank you for coming through. Anybody watch this video, comment, subscribe, support. Follow me, follow Shannon, support these ladies and support the bodybuilding. These men and women. This is like I said, like Ronnie Coleman said like this. Everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but no one lift his heavy ass weight.
That's right.
All right, so folks, thank you for coming through. Have a great rest of your week. Appreciate your time. It's your man, Always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't subscribe. I am out. Have a good afternoon and good luck.
Thank you.
You are welcome.